This person says, I support deporting illegals who are committing crimes. Okay, let's just pause right there. I agree with that. If you come here as an undocumented immigrant and you're working, you're trying to make a better life for yourself, you're not bothering anybody, I got no problem with that. You come here as an undocumented immigrant and you're committing crimes here, yeah, send them back. That's one of the things that the folks on the far right never seem to understand when they always talk about the deportation numbers of people like Obama and Clinton. Yeah, they were sending those people back. They weren't just running through the streets rounding everybody up. But let's go on. But the ones who can pass a drug test and support a family should have strict conditions like paying a stiff fine, pay back taxes, learn English, and wait for blah, blah, blah. Why? Let's go through these. Pay a stiff fine. Okay, if you want to talk about somebody that was here undocumented for 10 years, they weren't committing any crimes, they were working, they got caught, but we want to give them an opportunity to get back into the country and or even stay in the country without being deported. You want to talk about a fine? I'm fine with that. You committed a civil offense, we can talk about a fine. Next one. Pay back taxes, then learn English. What if they've already been working and paying their taxes? Keep in mind, a lot of undocumented immigrants work taxable jobs. So they get a regular taxable paycheck and they pay into Social Security, they pay into Medicare, they pay into unemployment, and they pay into Medicaid. And they don't get to collect on any of those benefits. Yes, that's a real thing. Undocumented immigrants, in a lot of cases, work taxable jobs and have already paid their taxes and cannot collect on the benefits. So they've already paid their taxes, and they've paid taxes at the state, county, and local level every time they walk into a store and buy groceries, every time they buy gas, every time they hit a convenience store to pick up a six-pack. They're paying taxes in their local community and in their state. I would argue that most of the undocumented immigrants that I've known have paid more in taxes than most of the right-wing trash I've known that bitches about the undocumented immigrants and who live off of the government. So that's what I would say about back taxes. Learn English. Why? I'm being serious when I ask that. Why do they need to learn English? Plenty of people exist and operate day to day in this country without knowing a lick of English. And if I'm being completely honest with you, a lot of the folks who yell about folks having to learn English have a hard time with English themselves. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene said indictable was indictable. Yes, indictable. It was an indictable offense. No, it was an indictable defense. Marjorie Taylor Greene was the one who called a petri dish, like in a laboratory, a petri dish, a peach tree dish. I don't think English should be the thing that should be mandatory for somebody to come into this country, especially considering I wouldn't exist if that were a rule. My grandfather on my mother's side immigrated from Sicily before he was 10 years old. He didn't know any English. Raised a family. Was a hardworking, tax-paying American his whole life after he got here. But he started out coming here not knowing a lick of English. So, fuck that.